Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, another PJ party. We are here. This is Ketel, and we're here with Redwine.
Bonsoir, everybody. Bonsoir.
Yes.
Welcome to the Pajama Party.
Yes, and Poppa DD is here. He has arrived from a long journey. He is here.
Imagine
that. Watch out, Papa. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Rain outside.
What a day.
Anyway.
Huh? All right. Well, we're going to get into things. We got our hot topics. We're going to make it short and sweet for you tonight. We have, is the Red Cross racist? Our BET 2016 award show. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Also, the passing of Pat Summitt. She passed away yesterday. What's poppin' with Poppa DD? I'm just saying with Redwine, you make me proud. Living for the city with Papa again. He got some surprises for us tonight. My Hollywood wrap-up. We're going to give you a little pillow talk tonight also. Our kisser list and the last word. Sit back, relax, get your favorite cocktail, because that's what we're doing. And we'll be right back with the hot topic.
Hey, this is Poppa DD. Join me on Friday nights live at the Pajama Party, adult online radio talk show. And don't miss my segments called Living for the City and What's Poppin'.
Hey, and join me. This is Redwine with the long stem, and I've got the hot topics in my commentary called I'm Just Saying. And don't forget, the cocktail of the week for me, Ketel with the yellow top. I got the Hollywood wrap-up along with Weird News. And don't forget, we've got the kisser list. That's for the people who get on our last nerves, and you want us to call them out.
So join us on Blog Talk Radio for the Pajama Party.
Every Friday night at 9 p.m. on the East Coast and 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Go to apajamaparty.com to listen online or follow us on Twitter at apajamaparty. Call us live, 914-803-4306. And don't forget to press 1.
Now let's get back to the show.
Hey, what happened to the snack tray or the bartender?
Does he want to see my slippers?
I'll call it room service.
All right, and we're back with the Pajama Party. I'm Ketel, and we're here with Redwine.
Bonsoir.
And Poppa DD.
Yo.
All right, he's in the house. All right.
He's lurking in the background.
Yes, he is. So, what's going on with you?
Well, I want to get into these hot topics. Did you by chance see the ad, I guess it's an ad or a flyer that the Red Cross put together? It was a signboard that had something that looked really racist, this message about swimming safety guidelines for kids. Mm-hmm. And they ended up coming up with an apology, after they did something offensive, which is what most people typically do. They try you first, and then when you catch them, they want to say, oops, my bad.
What was on the board?
Well, okay, this all started with a dialogue that came up on Twitter after the picture circulated in Fort Morgan, Colorado, and now the poster has been taken down, but what it read across the top, it said, be cool, follow the rules. Now, that sounds innocent enough, right?
Right.
Well, below the heading were depictions of children playing, and the white children were labeled as behaving cool, while the children of color were depicted as misbehaving or being not cool because they were all breaking the rules,
of the
safety
pool.
rules, right? And of course, the American Red Cross says that they appreciate the sensitivity around the concerns that were raised about water safety posters and all that kind of thing. And they said, this is their statement, we deeply apologize for any misunderstanding. Mm-hmm. As it was absolutely not our intent to offend anyone.
Really?
As one of the nation's oldest and largest humanitarian organizations, we are committed to diversity and inclusion in all that we do every day.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly. Wah, wah.
Yes.
What's that thing I used to say?
That's what they're giving us.
Yeah, so going forward, we're developing more appropriate materials. So to me, when you say you're going to do something more appropriate, you're acknowledging that was inappropriate.
See what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And going forward, so
Yeah.
in the past is what we've done.
Right. So in the past, we admit we were inappropriate.
Right.
And they're saying that they want to be more representative of the workforce and the communities that they serve. But others are still unsatisfied with the Red Cross Hospital's efforts, including the woman who took the photo of the poster. And it was just an ordinary citizen. She said, I'm just a citizen. I'm not an organization, but I want the Red Cross to collaborate and build relationships with Black Kids Swim and other organizations that do advocacy around this kind of thing so it doesn't happen again. And this woman's name is Margaret Sawyer. She's the former executive director of the Mixtexco Indigena Community Organizing Project. Clearly, they're thinking of themselves as having only one constituency, and that is not true. Sawyer took the photo after seeing the poster twice while traveling with her family in Colorado over the weekend.
Interesting.
So this picture, once again, it said, be cool, follow the rules. And then it had like a bunch of different things that kids do in a pool.
Right.
And over the heads of the Black kids or the children of color, because maybe some of them could have been allegedly Latino or whatever.
Right.
But over the kids of color, it said not cool, because they were all doing things breaking the rules.
Right.
And over the white kids, they were all cool, because they were all following the rules. Now, how is it possible that somebody created that, approved that, printed that, and thought it was appropriate and saw no problem with that?
That's the problem. They don't think it's a problem.
I'm just blown.
Just
and the Red Cross should be ashamed of themselves. As long as they've been around, they know better than that.
But then you have to go back and do the root of the problem, which could be the Red Cross. They could be racist themselves.
Could be.
Per se. And they didn't think it was a problem them putting it up, the poster.
Well, apparently whoever did their graphics and created this poster seems to have, as people say, a racist bone in their body. Because there's no way in the world somebody created that and thought, okay, this is cool. And then somebody must have approved it.
Right.
They looked at it and thought, oh, this is good. No problem. Go ahead. Send it to production. Let's print them and distribute them wherever they distributed these, because this lady saw it in Colorado.
Right. And she saw it twice. She said
twice in Colorado. In Colorado.
In Colorado. We got to go where the source is. I guess we had to figure out who lives in Colorado. Yeah.
Well,
of the Caucasian persuasion, as Papa would say. I'm using your words
don't
tonight.
blame it on me. You said it. Don't blame it on me.
I'm using your words, Papa.
Well, use it with your mindset on it. Don't blame it on me.
No,
but my view on that is, it's like anything else out there that's called the black cloud, black sheep of the family, and everything else like that. That's why all that was on the same lines. Because everybody think was something bad. It's got to be of a dark nature or whatever. And that it's so many people to fault in this situation. The illustrators, the people approving it. It just go to show you the demographics of every place that poster went through to be for approval had no diversity at all.
Yeah.
Okay, and everybody saw it as oh, this is cool. Oh yeah, you got the little it looks like the little black kids are the ones starting trouble. And they did that like it was regular, like the world would understand that that's who really does trouble. And anyway.
As going back to the saying, white is always right.
Right, being on the right side of white.
I don't think so.
Yeah, by humbug.
But that speaks volume, and we're going to get more into it. The guy Jesse Williams on the BET, what he talked about and everything, that just goes right into our next hot topic. Talking about the BET Awards, Jesse Williams. He delivered such a moving speech. He got the humanitarian award at the 2016 BET Awards, He's on the Grey's Anatomy series.
Yeah.
I guess he's one of the dreamy guys, I guess.
He's a doctor on there.
Oh, okay.
He's easy on the eyes.
Oh, okay. Okay. He was honored for his activism and dedication to the Black Lives Matter movement. And the CEO, Deborah Lee, she introduced him and everything, and she said, Jesse Williams is the essence of modern civil rights legend in the making and a true pioneer of our new generation of leaders. I was thinking the same thing. I said, she took the words right out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And goes on to say, now this award, which this is Jesse talking, now this award is not for me. This is for the real organizers all over the country, the activists, the civil rights attorneys, the struggling parents, the families, the teachers, the students that are realizing that a system built to divide and impoverish and destroy us cannot stand if we do. Man, he was deep.
Oh yes.
They say he's one of the youngest members of the board of directors on a board called the Advancement Project. It's a civil rights advocacy group who they produced the documentary Stay Woke. That was in 2014. That's something we need to check out.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, but that's powerful. Stay woke. I guess to a lot of things that are going on, in this time and day.
Yeah, it's a lot of people sleeping on a lot of stuff.
I know that's right.
Like the Red Cross.
Right. You guys have to look up the entire speech because he talked about some powerful things. He also said freedom. This is my part. Freedom is always coming in the hereafter, but you know what though? The hereafter is a hustle. If you have a critique for the resistance, our resistance, then you better have an established record of critique of our oppression. If you have no interest in equal rights for black people, then you do not make suggestions to those who do. So sit down.
All right.
I was like, all right,
sit
my
down.
brother, sit down. You know me, I would say sit your A.
Yeah.
Your A down. But he said it. That was very powerful. But I would look up the whole speech and check it out. But
yeah, it's all over YouTube.
Yes, yes.
No sooner than it came out of his mouth, people were uploading that.
Yes.
Because it was that good.
It was. Did you hear the speech, Papa?
Sure did.
Yeah. How'd you like it?
I was inspired.
Yeah. True that. Yeah.
I actually liked the whole show.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah.
It really
I'm not
was.
usually a big fan of award shows, but that was one of the best, one of the most well-produced award shows.
I have to say it
including the honors and the everything that was done for Prince.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the whole show in general. It was just well done from the beginning to the end.
It was. And it was interesting to see the people that came together, that came out to do the different tributes to Prince. It's like Jennifer Hudson, she was my favorite. I'm like, man, she just had me trembling all over her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fabulous.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them, I can't even say who was my favorite.
Right.
You know, between Erykah Badu, because I love Erykah Badu.
Right.
And
Erykah
then
Badu for what?
her tribute
Favorite.
to Prince. I enjoyed that.
I don't agree. I think that was horrible.
I enjoyed it.
She was horrible.
Because I like that song, The Ballad of Dorothy Parker. That's one of the songs that some people may not remember.
That wasn't.
But I enjoyed it.
Her whole appearance that night was really off kill. I think that she missed her hairdresser, didn't get her hair done. She was stuck with a hairstyle that she had that she needed to probably update from another time.
Papa.
You know.
Like I said, I enjoyed it. I liked Erykah's performance. I liked the Ballad of Dorothy Parker. That's one of Prince's songs that some people may not be aware of. So I enjoyed it.
Took a mess.
I think that's I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be on her new look. But
I know she changes her look so much.
That look was ragged, honey.
I was just glad she didn't have on one of those tall hats like she has been wearing. That Abraham Lincoln look. She finally let that go for a minute.
Well,
she was a mess.
We're gonna get more into the BET Awards and my Hollywood wrap up. Talk about some people that.
Pajama Party, growing Pajama Party Crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Pajama Party, growing join the so close and loud.
Welcome to another Friday night at the Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir. Okay. All right. We got a lot going on, so let's get right into it.
All right.
Okay. Our hot topics tonight. Unfortunate. I hate to keep saying it, but a mass shooting in Annapolis, Maryland. I mean, this stuff is getting closer to home.
True.
Which is not good. Yep. Also, Supreme Court hands conservatives major victories under Trump. Also, Maxine Waters canceled events after receiving death threats. Okay. Hit it and quit it headline. Quadruplets graduate from the same university. Also, Ireland investigates cervical cancer screening scandal. Guinness Stout Brewery to open in Baltimore County in August. Also, Citigroup to refund $335 million to credit card consumers. Also, Toronto principal faces resignation. Calls after making a student blacklist. Really? And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez beats 10-term incumbent in New York. What's popping with Poppa DD tonight? We got a surprise for us. Can't wait to hear that. Our weird news. Shirtless man backflips off downtown L.A. freeway sign. Okay. Also, a bank robber suspect gives ID easily, tracked by police. And can dogs perform CPR? Also, I'm just saying with Redwine, welcome. I know, we'll find out. I'm just saying with you, Redwine, welcome to our world. Living for the city with Poppa DD. Another surprise, my Hollywood wrap-up. I got a lot to talk about tonight. Cocktail of the week is called the Effin' Black Cherry American Dream. Wow, that's a lot. EBCAD. Okay. Also, our kiss it list and the last word. Sit back, relax, get your favorite cocktail. You can get one of the Effin' Black Cherry American Dream, and we'll be right back with Hot Topics.
Well, it's
Hot
Hot
get
Topic
into this
time.
first story. Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on tonight?
Yeah, it's too much. Man, when we going to stop? When we going to figure this stuff out? A mass shooting, if you guys don't already know, happened in Annapolis, Maryland. And 5 people were killed in the shooting inside the newsroom at the Capitol Gazette. That's one of the oldest newspapers in Annapolis, Maryland. That's right there where the cadets and everything are in Annapolis. The victims included Wendy Winters. She was a special publications editor. Rebecca Smith. She was a sales assistant. Robert Hiasan. He was an assistant editor. And Gerald Fishman, he was the editorial page editor and also a staff writer, John McNamara. Also, several employees were injured also. So on Friday, a judge ordered that the guy Ramos be held without bail. Great. Adams said at a press conference there was evidence that Ramos took a tactical approach to the shooting and barricaded a rear entrance in the building before opening fire. So they said Ramos stormed the newsroom, worked his way through the office hunting and shooting victims. So police found Ramos hiding under a desk in the building. So I guess he was trying to act like one of the people that were there. Ramos was identified using facial recognition technology. A picture of Ramos was run through the Maryland image repository system, and the authorities were able to identify him. Great. Wow, technology.
I tell you.
And the police said the shooting was a targeted attack at the Capitol Gazette. What happened was Ramos filed a defamation lawsuit in 2012 against the paper and a staff writer.
and but the case was eventually dismissed. And they said Ramos allegedly made online threats to the Capitol Gazette in 2013. So, my thing is, should you pay more attention? She got a restraining order, or what can you do next after that? Because a lot of times the police will say, well, they haven't done nothing bodily harm to you, so we can't do anything yet. So,
well, that's always how it goes, They can't arrest you for what you threaten to do or what you're thinking about doing,
Right. But if I feel threatened, there's some type of restraining order you can put out on that person. And from what I hear this article, there's nothing there. So I guess they just probably kicked it off as, okay, the man's just crazy, Hopefully he won't come back this way again. So.
Well, I think he was able to get away with this because the incident happened, what was that, like 2012? Or it was sometime like in the past when the incident was reported. 2012, okay. So I think, because of what went down and so far ago, I don't think it was really on the police radar.
Right, but I'm saying at that time, well, he made online threats also. There is a law that you can't make threats like that online. There is a task force that, picks those types of things up. I know the FBI, they deal with people that make threats and stuff online. So I'm just saying maybe this Gazette paper should have went the next step, whatever that is, to keep this guy away from them, or some documentation like, okay, we have a restraining order out on you, stay the heck away. But I don't see that in any of these articles. Yeah, I don't see that. So.
Well, what do you think, Poppa DD? What else can you do?
Well, I just think that first of all, hindsight is 20/20, and everybody sees hindsight based on how they make their conclusions on what you woulda, shoulda, and coulda did. The one thing we do know that you're not going to put in your mind who you think that already came along and blew somebody, went off. And once that happens, then when we go back and we find out what happened with this one and that one, we always can draw a conclusion on what we maybe woulda, shoulda, coulda done. But at the time, we're not thinking that deep because nobody is inevitably predicting something that's tragic.
I guess they just thought he was just, talking smack, blowing off steam, something along that line. But it is another unfortunate situation, and I don't want to keep repeating our hearts and prayer. I know we're all tired of hearing that. Yeah,
that's true. But at the end of the article, it does say the paper ultimately decided it didn't want to pursue charges against Ramos because they had feared that doing so would exacerbate an already flammable situation. I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. I would think a little further, head down the line, but, maybe they didn't feel as if he was a threat, but, yeah.
Well, like Papa said, hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah, we can conclusion all day having an edge on witnessing the situation, but when you don't know what's going to happen, nobody ever thinks that an old girlfriend going to come up and split their throat. Then when it happens, we say, wow, that can happen. So.
Well, they always say it's a warning before destruction. And I feel as if that warning was in 2013, so,
Yeah.
But it could have made it worse, like they said, so. All right.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about the Supreme Court situation. One of the judges has announced that he's going to resign. And, when you look at the whole situation, the way that court is situated, now that this judge is resigning, this will be the second Supreme Court judge that the current president gets to appoint. And this is a concern to me, and I don't know about everybody else, but this is a concern because I was reading some information, and just in this current Supreme Court term, in their 5-4 rulings, the court has upheld Trump's travel ban against certain Muslim-majority countries. They have said it was okay for states to aggressively cancel voter registration, and by the same 5-4 breakdown, they approved Texas electoral maps that were tainted by claims of racial discrimination, and they struck down a California law requiring pregnancy counseling centers to notify people about the availability of abortion if they so choose. So this court is really leaning in a certain direction, and once he adds another Republican-controlled, I would say, Republican-placed judge on that court, on that bench, it's basically going to be a Republican Supreme Court. So their agendas and everything that they're trying to push through is going to basically be their priority. I don't know how anybody is going to get seriously a fair shake in the Supreme Court. And that's not good because it's going to be majority Republican-led, just like the way that the Congress is right now. And you see where that's gotten us. So I'm just really concerned about this. It's Judge Roberts who's going to be resigning. So, not him, it's Kennedy. Kennedy that's resigning. So I think we just need to really keep an eye on this because 45 is saying that he's going to appoint somebody within the next 10 days. And he's already got his eye on several people from the appeals court, I believe it is. And these are all people that he put there. So, I don't know. I'm not feeling good about the Supreme Court right about now.
Yeah, he did make a comment that they're going to be on the Supreme Court for another 40, 45 years. I was like, oh, Lord.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to be no change. It seems like in our lifetime. It's going to be a blur. And
you remember how they fought against President Obama? He had, 6 months left of his presidency. He wanted to fill Justice Scalia's spot when he passed. And what's his name? Mitch McConnell and his cronies fought against him tooth and nail and decided no matter who you nominate, no matter how qualified he is, we're not going to let you do it because you're on your way out and we don't want anybody that a Democrat put in there. And that, they put it just like that, and that's exactly what they did. So he already got Gorsuch in there, and I don't really know what Gorsuch has been doing, but all I can do is look at the record. You know, this immigration situation, all this gerrymandering that's going on, and there's been cases that have come to them regarding gerrymandering that they pushed back to the local courts, to the states, and basically said, well, you know what, y'all deal with that. We don't want to touch that. So the states, it's left up to them to do what they want to do. And that's not good. Not when it comes to that. You move the boundaries, create the counties, and make the voting come out the way you want it to be? And the Supreme Court is wiping their hands of it, saying, no, we don't want that case. Let the states deal with it. That's some bullshiggity. So, that, you know, like I said, we better just keep an eye on that and see what's going to come out of it.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. All right. I guess we better continue to pray, right?
Yep. We better. Night and day. 24/7.
All right. Man, we got to pray that much? Jesus.
Yeah. Girl, with him in control, you better pray 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all I have on that. So I'm just saying, like your boy, what's his name, Joe Madison says, you better watch with the third eye and listen with the third ear, because it's getting crazy.
Okay, look, on our next story, we got Maxine Waters. She canceled an event after a very serious death threat. Now, and here's another situation where you say hindsight. You listen for this, and you may hear a title saying Maxine Waters has a death threat and not paying no rabbit-ass mind. But, some of these jokers out here are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're crazy, and they feel like they're representing. Every time they do something adverse, they could be representing, Donald Trump on how he may feel when he knew he got credit. It's like that joker that drove that car up at that demonstration in Charlottesville. Let me tell you something. When that guy came down to those people, his foot was on the metal. He was gunning that car. Ended up killing a white woman at the end of the game. But when you believe in something that strong, that you put yourself in front of the whole aspect of faith and life and religion and pursuit of happiness and everything, and you find yourself behind this man will never see the light of day in his life.
Mm-hmm.
His family wondering, like, what were you thinking at the time? You were an idiot. For the fact of you trying to. There's nothing you could do to cover from this situation. He's lucky only one person died. That could have been a massive killing.
That's true.
That car was
I think that's what he was going for.
And that ties into the Maxine Waters case, because you don't know what people are going to do. This is raw right now. And she was saying some stuff that was pretty, it took me back a little bit, the way she was encouraging people to do things or to stop people from eating, they go out and eat at night, and she's encouraging to look around and push back on people, and you can't do it. I didn't agree with her story at all. I said it the day that I saw it on TV. I said, it's not right. I said, Maxine Waters she's out of line. You can't not mess with people. Everything when you get out of the arena of regular life, everything's supposed to stop. You can't be like this facilitating stuff. Just like if you're you put yourself in the same boat where you're encouraging people to do evil stuff. And if people follow you, like they said in the Malcolm X movie, when he poured that oil and that ink inside that water, and he said, if you get it to the people, they'll drink it because they believe in you. And Maxine, to me, was completely out of line by encouraging people to push back when you see somebody, stop talking like that. Stop rallying like that against people. We don't live in an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth society. If you cold-bloodedly killed somebody and you got away with it, then you had a damn good lawyer, and that's what happened. So, but in her case, I don't know. I don't bring no harm to her at all, but encouraging people like that, you're encouraging to bring harm to other people.
So even though she didn't actually tell people to go and jack people up, just by her saying, stay in their face and, confront people, etc., you think that people interpret that to mean get physical and get violent with people?
Well, because she had the fist up and the aggressive posture,
Mm-hmm.
And if people are mad because of the situation and you're the leader that's facilitating a new level of where to take it, you're the person that steps out right after the incident, and people are looking at you, and you got the posture and the fist and everything that goes along with encouraging people, then, you're just as guilty as Trump is with that. I just think Maxine should have been cool. Don't be led by that. Don't let Trump, like Michelle Obama said, take the high road. Don't do like he does. So right now, it's just a watch game now. I'm sure she feels bad about it as well. Everybody wants, like, what's her name, Roseanne Barr. She was crying the other day on the news. She's freaking out, because she knew she did something stupid. She was led by Trump. Trump put that fire underneath her belly, but you're not Trump. Trump is a billionaire. He could handle off stuff. He got a big ass shield, a bunch of protectors, a bunch of lawyers, a bunch of everything to protect his ass. But you can't get behind a millionaire thinking you're going to act as tough as he is, because Roseanne Barr couldn't do it. Maxine Waters, you can't do it because you ain't got the power. And you're pointing in a direction where everybody, these people are famous for changing the narrative. Anything you do, they're going to flip the script on you. The football players out there protesting because of violence and stuff in the neighborhoods and all, and Trump said they don't believe in the flag. They don't believe in such and such. They don't care about the military. He flipped the script on their ass and made them look stupid. So Maxine Waters should have knew better at her mature age and her mature time. Don't fall for the okie doke.
Okay.
Right.
Anyway.
I just want to add something to that. I think when you're on a certain level, it's unfortunate our president, he has just effed up the presidency as an institution. He has really just jacked that up. But like Poppa DD said, we more or less don't need to follow suit and do the same thing that he's doing. Let's just rise above that. And there's a way, you can say things and do things to get your point across. For her, it says what Waters issued her call for the protesters to confront members of the Trump administration on the street and in businesses. Come on, man. Really?
Exactly.
That's bullying. That's modern day bullying. And we
telling
always
them
that, right.
While she goes home to her $1 million house and whatever, Yeah, do it, y'all, do it. I'm going to go home and have me some shrimp and watch y'all on TV do it,
Yeah, but it didn't help matters.
Mm-hmm.
Trump got on Twitter and basically threatened her, telling her, be careful what you wish for. You need to watch yourself, Max.
Exactly.
He said something about her IQ being low and all this stuff. And I'm not saying that's any excuse, but I'm just saying that, going back to your point, Ketel, the way that I feel he constantly demeans the office of the presidency, it's just disgusting. Why are you on Twitter talking about somebody's IQ because they said something you didn't like?
Right.
Take the high road sometimes.
Right. Now, if you thought, he should be to a point where we don't condone this and yada, yada, something to that level, not stoop lower than where she is. Come on now. They act like two bullies, like they trying to meet each other outside at 3 o'clock. Really? Give me a break. And these are people that we look up to? I think we need some new politicians.
People we should look up to.
Yeah. I know politicians get a raw deal, but y'all making it worse for us now, to even look your way. I don't want to be, in your position, what you're doing. I know it's a rough job, but, hey, give it some respect. And that's what they're not doing. It's just sad.
And that's the problem.
All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm your host, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir.
Okay.
Bonsoir.
What you sipping on?
Don't start. Something nice and cold and delicious.
I bet you are. Has a long red.
No, that's for me to know and you to wonder.
Yeah, when somebody say tall, cold, and delicious, that's like a 400-pound woman saying, I'm beautiful behind this microphone. Okay?
See, here
that's
comes
what
the
it sounded
bull.
like when she said that.
Okay. All right.
So,
I'm not going to mess with you, Poppa DD. I'm going to talk about these quintuplets on the Hit It and Quit It headlines. This is finally some good news for a change. We've got the quintuplets that graduated from the same university. That's 5 kids that were all born 3 minutes apart from each other, and this was down in Texas. Their names are Emma, Maria, Emilio, George, and John Diaz. They're 21 years old, and they all got their diplomas, put on their caps and gowns, and graduated from the University of North Texas. Isn't that great? And they all had 5 different degrees. Now, they have been in school together since the beginning. They went to the same elementary school, same junior high, same high school, and they all graduated. Let's see, they were born in 1996, and now they all have their degrees. 5 different degrees from a set of quintuplets. That's a lot of kids to raise, 5 babies at one time. It goes on to talk about how they shared many of the same classes, but their majors are all very different, so they couldn't be further apart. They graduated with degrees in biology, finance, Spanish, social communication, and art. And their parents, one is a salesman, Jorge, who's 55, and their mom is a full-time mom, Emma. She's 55 as well. That they were so proud watching their 5 children graduate last month. And they said ever since they were born, people kept asking, how do you do it? How'd you get them all through college? And Jorge said that watching them graduate was the best feeling any parent can have, and that it was just multiplied by 5, and that he was just happy that they did it. They said they're just used to being together. So congrats to the Diaz family and all 5 of the children, and saluting the parents. You pulled it off.
That's right. Yes. But it's amazing how they stuck together through that long period of time, because a lot of times you know, siblings, you know, I'm quite sure they have the little rivalry or whatever, but they stuck together. I mean, hey, it's better in numbers, as they say. I've heard that all the time.
That's true. Because, you know, sometimes as the kids get older, they say, I don't want to go to the same school with my brothers and sisters. I want to go to a different school, have my own identity and whatnot. Well, shout out to the Diaz family and congratulations.
Oh, that's
Job
right. Like
well
you said,
done.
finally some good daggone news.
Yes. Shout out to the Diaz family.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else is happening, Poppa DD?
Looks like this is some stuff from overseas. Ireland, home of Dublin and other places like that. Ireland investigators a cervical cancer screening scandal. Cervical cancer is almost like pancreatic cancer, where the survival rate is really almost slim to none in most cases. Dublin, an Irish government announced on Monday that it was opening an official inquiry and setting up phone helplines and emergency testing after it came out that a lab mistakenly cleared at least 208 women who later received a diagnosis of cervical cancer.
Wow. And
at the time, this particular lab told them that they saw no cancer, when in fact they did have cancer in them. And this took a few months back before they went back to check again to find out if they would have chased after the cancer during the time they first went for the screening. Things might have been a little better. They could have had better quality of life living, and what have you. The 208 women received false negatives between 2010 and 2014. All right? At least 17 of these women who since have died. Irish officials said although they added that they could not confirm the cases of death, Prime Minister Leo Van Norken said Monday that he was very angry and saddened by the cause. He said the government would investigate what he describes as appalling communicative failure and examine the whole testing process. All right, the government is contacting all affected, including survivors of the 17 deceased women, to assure them of the mistaken test and of the 2014 review that identified the lapse but did not become public until recently. So the government is also considering a plan to compensate those survivors so that their families do not have to go through the courts and all that jazz to make a lawsuit. So anyway, the scandal came to light last week when it emerged from court proceedings that an American company to which some tests have been outsourced, all right, Chemical Pathology Laboratories Incorporated of Austin, Texas, had reached a settlement worth $2.5 million, euros, about $3 million what it amounts to, with Vicky Perham, 43, a terminally ill woman from the county of Limerick. So anyway, the whole thing in a nutshell, this situation is that these people were given false indications. People said they told them they had no cancer, and all of a sudden their health declined and persisted, and as they went back, they found out that these things was wrong. We actually looked at the tests up close and personal. People were just telling them yes and kept it moving. I don't know whether it was a silent thing where nobody wanted to be the bearer of bad news or what have you, but
it sounds like they just didn't do the test thoroughly. Either they just got the wrong information.
Well, I think they didn't get the right information. I think I don't know what they're thinking.
Some
people don't want to
break
break
test
them apart.
Were wrong.
Yeah, well,
I can't imagine they didn't want to tell them bad news. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, but it's not. Some people don't have the heart to is what it is, you know. So
I think they just got bad information. Either the lab was wrong or they interpreted the results wrong. Somebody was wrong. And they're telling these people, oh, you're cancer-free. Go live your life. And then finding out, these women found out later on, not only did they have cervical cancer, but it had gotten more advanced because it had been left untreated.
Yeah.
You know, that's ridiculous.
And one of the companies that was responsible for not treating is an American company, was in a mix with some of this mess, and it's a company called Quest Diagnostics. Yeah, I'm sure everybody.
Oh, they were one of the.
Everybody in the sound of this radio show was saying, "Oh, I know Quest. Oh, I know Quest Diagnostics. Of course you do. It's an international company. They're the bloodhounds.
Mm-hmm.
They draw the blood. They draw the urine. They draw everything out of your body and say, look, you know."
Man, I'm going to be second-guessing those suckers from now on.
Okay.
Got to keep an eye on them. I think I'm going to put Quest on the kiss it list.
And the alternative from Quest in America is a company called LabCorp.
Mm-hmm.
LabCorp is their direct competition. So if you go get some blood drawn, they say Quest Diagnostics is doing it. They say, oh, no, hold up. So you make a call to LabCorp. And get it done.
Okay, now.
That's their competition.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear about how those women were treated in Ireland. Hopefully they'll, even though they're going to compensate them, that doesn't get your life back.
No, it doesn't.
That's true.
But
yeah.
You can have all the world. The ultimate thing with money is the fact that most people, as an example, most people have money. Once you get a cancer scare or something of that nature, that bank account becomes absolutely meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
You would give everything but 5 cents to find a cure or to find research or what have you. So we know that money really don't stand a chance up against somebody with some type of terminal cancer.
Wow. All right, Ketel, I'm kick it over to you. What's going on?
Well. Like we don't have more than enough breweries. We got one coming up in our back door. Guinness Brewery in Baltimore County to open August the 3rd. Baltimore County's new Guinness Brewery, the company's first brewery operation in the U.S. since 1950, is going to open August the 3rd. It's located on a 62-acre property in Relay.
Wow.
The Guinness Open Gate Brewery and Barrel House will open to the public for tours, tap room tastings, and dining in a 270-seat restaurant. Wow.
And this is in Baltimore?
In Bmore, known for its stout and near ambiguous presence on bar taps around the world, Guinness first announced plans for the brewery in early 2017. So in October, it opened a test tap room on the property to give visitors an early taste of what to expect when the brewery opens. So while the stout will continue to be produced at the original brewery in Dublin, Ireland, that's interesting. We just talked about Ireland. The Baltimore County facility will brew different styles and flavors, an attempt to tap into the growing American market for craft beer. All right. So it says one of the most asked questions since the brewery plans were announced. Why would Guinness choose Baltimore County? Why not? The property in Relay, which is south of Arbutus, was already owned by Guinness' parent company, Diageo, which had used it most recently for bottling and aging Captain Morgan rum products until 2015. So the decision of where to build Guinness' first U.S. brewery in decades was a practical one. Just hey, common sense. So the goal is for the first year to attract 300,000 visitors. I'm sorry. $80 million brewery project is designed in large part to be a beer fan's destination. With 92 taps on site, all serving Guinness brewed beers.
Gee whiz, 92?
Yep. It will create approximately 200 hospitality jobs. I better go seeking. The brewery's marketing manager says, wow, that's pretty interesting. I'm trying to figure out where in the heck is this? They must have took over some land that was just sitting there.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where did they find 62 acres?
62-acre property in Relay. So it must be a part of Baltimore. I guess you have to
must
check it
be
out
a suburb or something. Okay.
Maybe.
Now,
Guinness's,
isn't that real dark beer, Poppa DD?
Yep. But they have a new one. It's a blonde one now, so it's like a regular beer. So I guess they trying to tap into some other beers besides the dark. That's the most famous one, yeah.
Oh, okay. That stuff looks like mud, but I guess people like it.
You know what? I just had to try it for once in my life, and I didn't like it. It's an acquired taste. It really is. And it has to be poured in a particular way also. I forgot what angle has to be poured.
One night. I saw that on Bar Rescue. One of the people had Guinness's. It was one of their specialties, and they took them to Ireland or took them to somewhere where the Guinness's people were there and showed them how to pour it and serve it and all this stuff.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It truly is art form. It's almost like, when they say wine has to breathe and so on, cognac has to breathe, so you got to put it in a certain glass or sifter. So, I mean, different things for, different things.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Should be interesting. All right. There'll be another attraction to go to Baltimore. Yeah.
Okay.
It's getting more and more on the map, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Go Baltimore. All right. What else we got?
Okay, we got another story where Citigroup, which is Citibank, they're up there with Chase and all those other big jokers, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. They got plenty of money. Citigroup to refund. Now, check this out. Now, anytime you don't see a B and you see a damn M, and it's associated with a bank paying out an amount of money, and they're using an M and not a B, that's a bunch of crap. Okay, and I'll get back to that in a second. But anyway, they're going to refund $335 million to credit card customers. Okay, this happened in New York. Now, mind you that they collect almost $1 billion in fees for somebody using their particular Mac machine. Okay, this happens at night sometimes. People are lazy. They can be drunk, sweet going. As far as what happens, why people don't go to the machine of their choice when it comes of their regular banks. They don't do a fee. They just go, we'll pay $3, pay $3. This happens all over the world. So Citigroup and Wells Fargo and
who else?
Anyway, let me read the story. New York Associated Press, Citigroup said Friday it plans to refund $335 million to a group of customers who may have been overpaying interest on their credit cards. Now, $335 million, Now, they collect that amount of money in ATM fees in a 3-month period. Okay?
May
It's
not
so
take that
sad
long.
when a bank offers to pay you back millions. They make millions in no time. It's when that billion come up is when you should be concerned about them and understand the fact that they're trying to pay for the errors of their ways.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, $335 million is nothing to Citibank, it's nothing to Chase Bank, it's nothing to Bank of America, it's nothing to Wells Fargo. So don't get twisted by the damn okie doke, all right? And it's a group of people. Now, these are people that they've narrowed down that they want to pay back, and maybe middle America people or people that keep a certain amount of money in their bank, people that are good banking people, because they don't want to lose them either. They want to circle jerk them. They want to dress them up and then turn them around, poke a hole in them, and still butt fuck them. Anyway. Earlier this year, Citi disclosed that it had used a flawed methodology in determining whether credit card customers were eligible for an interest rate reduced on their credit cards as required by the Card Act of the federal laws that govern the credit card industry. Now, Citi disclosed a flaw to regulators, including the CFPB in 2017. The CFPB chose not to fine Citi for a flawed practice. Citi and banks ascribed to self-reporting the problem to regulate, and that it was in the process of refunding customers. Wow. So all that's saying is that when the people didn't even notice it, Citi said, well, look, we're going to volunteer and say we made a mistake. Now, how clever. And we can show advertising and promote the fact that we're paying money back, that they're going to make probably $600 million just on being honest, and the residuals of that money coming back to them, based on them being honest. And you'll see different advertisement on TV, on commercials. Citibank, the bank that cares. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, that was a slick move.
So anyway, it was real slick. So they even had to tell them that they violated. They volunteered and said, oh, we violated about $355 million, but we got the money. Of course you got the money. Your pockets are deep as hell. What do you mean you got the money? It's like almost when you dig up in your nose, it's almost guaranteed you're gonna pull out a boogie, right? So they got the money. So anyway, that's just to show you banks are full of crap,
All right, well, Citigroup and Citibank, whichever, they're on the kiss it list.
Anyway.
All right, I got a crazy one for you out of Toronto, going up to Canada now. Toronto students and parents are calling for the resignation of a high school principal after she sparked outrage by creating and circulating a list that singled out the black students for tracking purposes. People have accused this woman, the principal, Peggy Atchison, of racially profiling black students at the Etobicoke School for the Arts. She says she created the list and distributed it in November to teachers to track achievement gaps among all students of color. But when the students found out about the list in February, they confronted her. And then she said, in the context and with an objective of supporting success for all students, particularly those for whom we know as a group that there are gaps, I shared a list of black students with our teaching staff at a November meeting. So she's already making the assumption just because you're black, you're not going to be as smart and you're not going to be able to keep up as well with the non-black students. So I'm going to put you on a list and have the teachers to keep an eye on you and make sure that you're not falling behind too much or flag you or whatever the case. So, no matter how you slice it, she was racially profiling these students. So she has since apologized and said that she was inappropriate and the list was inappropriate. But the Toronto School Board, instead of really dealing with her, they transferred her to another school at her request. So they didn't fire her. They didn't fine her. They decided, well, since you want to be transferred, we'll go ahead and transfer you. So to me, that says that the Board of Education in Toronto did not have a problem with the racial profiling of the black students in that school. That's the way I see that. Now, the students and the alumni have sent petitions to the school district board asking for her total resignation, and they want her to undergo an equity and anti-racism training. but the board has not responded at all to their request. So, once again, it's not just here in the United States, but this BS is going on in Toronto as well. What would be the purpose of her to put this list together and only target the students of color? Talking about trying to make sure that they're not measuring the gap between them and the other students. Really? I'm not buying it.
Well, my comment is people are going to continue to do what they're going to do, and they'll suffer the consequences later. And it's unfortunate that people of this caliber, that they think they're on a different level than a minority person, per se. So they're going to treat the students the same way. Because the article was saying something about that the arts high schools in Toronto are mostly attended by white, wealthy students. So they already think they're above everybody else. So
exactly.
for her making that blacklist, it was nothing. It was just saying that hope y'all keep up. But this is the list of the people that I don't think is going to keep up. And
that's the way I see that. She's already flagging them to say, like, they're not going to be able to hang. Now, these kids, this is like a typical school of the arts. You have to audition. You have to apply. You have to do a questionnaire, probably write a essay or whatever you got to do in order to get in there. So it's not like, they're just grabbing folk off the street. So parents were highly insulted and offended by this.
But, too, I think this is a way to try to keep, quote-unquote, blacks or people of color out anyway. Because she's making those statements, those racial statements. I wouldn't want to put my child in that particular school. So she's going to keep it the way she wants to keep it. Majority white, all white.
White and rich.
It's okay.
Rich
right. It's okay what she said. It's no consequences to her. That's why the board is not going to do anything to her. That's why they transferred. Now, if they thought that she had done something wrong, she wouldn't have had no job. But it's okay.
Exactly.
So we're going to go ahead and slap you on the wrist and transfer you somewhere else. We don't want to deal with this right now. Come on.
But the transfer was her request. That's what got me. If she had not requested to transfer to get away from all the heat and the attention at this school, probably nothing would have happened. And that is a serious problem.
But it's
anyway,
only what people allow, and the other people have allowed it to continue on, so they're going to keep doing what they're doing. We'll talk about her in another article another time.
Well, the parents and the alumni said they're not going to sit down and take it quietly.
Yeah, I don't blame
So they're
doing
doing petitions, they're protesting and whatnot. So I hope they can affect some change up there, because that's some bull.
Right. They're not going to go quietly in the night, huh?
Nope, not this time.
I heard that. All right.
All right.
Well, I'm going to round up this last hit it and quit it. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez just made the Democratic Party safe for democracy again. So in the Democratic Party primary for New York 14th Congressional District, progressive political outsider Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was outspoken by 10-term incumbent Joe Crowley, more than 17-1. Crowley went all out, pouring $3.4 million into the race. Wow. The money was raised from some of the biggest names in corporate America: private equity titan Blackstone, health insurance giant Aetna, NASDAQ, Google, Facebook, Comcast. Wow, he had a lot of backing.
He got
Northam and Grumman, Bank of America, GE, Verizon, AT&T, Microsoft. Wow. Gordon Sachs, JP Morgan Chase. I mean, big money. And
wow.
So Cortez spent just under $200,000, none of it from corporate political action committees or lobbyists. And she beat the hell out of him. Wow. With just a handful of precincts left to be counted Wednesday morning. The 28-year-old Democratic socialist held a 15-point lead over Crawley, who had conceded the race several hours earlier. Wow. So they said the way that Cortez ran her campaign will change the Democratic Party at least as much as the policies at the heart of her candidacy. This race is about people versus money. I know that's right. We've got people, they've got money. I heard that. There you go. That's how you run a race. Okay.
Wow, she did a good job.
She sure did.
And I know they never saw her coming.
Yeah, I mean, wow. She had a lot to say apparently, and it was what they wanted to hear. So she got them on the people instead of the money. I heard that. Job well done.
Shout out to her. Mm-hmm.
We got to make another list, a shout-out list or something. I mean, shout out her and shout out these quintuplets we were talking about earlier. So.
That's right.
All right.
Okay.
All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. One of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
Ketel's out on a mission. She's not in the studio. I'm here with Redwine. God help me.
Love you too, Poppa
Ketel's down in our bull semen plant. She's jacking. I mean, she's getting semen from the bull. As bull semen being one of our parent companies, bull semen is good for the face, the hair, the skin, external use. Like we said, do not use this bull semen internally because pregnancy may occur. Anyway, getting back to, we're going to talk about the subject. Tonight, my segment on what's poppin' is going to be concerning the shortness of life. Let's just talk about that. Today I went to a funeral of my cousin. God rest his soul. His name was Stephen. And Stephen had a handicap.
What was it?
Multiple sclerosis. No, multiple sclerosis. He was handicapped his whole life. We were born the same year, 3 months apart. We won't say the year, but he was born in February. I was born in April the same year. So we grew up together as kids. And he was always the one that, with his handicap, was always trying to play along with everybody else. And it was something we looked at him just being a certain way. But as he grew older in his adulthood, still had that same walk, that same handicap sloof, the bent back, the one leg dragging behind the other. And he was always my beacon of faith to know that no matter how successful you are or whatever you got going on, to see my cousin Stephen, walk with a crooked, for lack of a better word, back and like I said, dragging one of his foot behind him when he walked, it always reminded me that no matter what I achieved or how slick I thought I was or how charismatic or fancy I was, to think about my cousin Stephen and know that how hard he struggled to even walk down the street with his cane and things like that. And but talking about the life, I have an older family. My family's very older. In fact, today is my parents' anniversary. My father just passed away back in December. But my parents today, June 29th, they got married back in 46. So they would have been married 72 years if my father was still living. He just passed away, less than 6 months ago. 72 years. I have an older brother who is 72 years old. He'll be 73 in December, and I have an older sister that will be 70 this year. Okay? So now when I talk about the shortness of life, we have to understand our age comes in numbers, and numbers get high real fast. And it's so sad when we look at the 20s and the 10s and, to have a grandchild, let's say, if you're 50 years old and you have a brand new grandchild, by the time the grandchild turns 20 years old, you'll be 70. It's quiet as it kept, and you don't even think about it because you're loving the grandchild. Grandchild is 5 and you're 55, and the grandchild is 10 and you're 60, and so on and so forth. But by the time the grandchild, you're 60 and the grandchild's 10, oh, my grandchild, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, your grandchild's 20 and you're 70 already. And it's so sad that we don't understand that this life is so short because, God gives us our time frame in decades, I always say. I think God issues time in decades. Decades being every 10 years allows you to examine yourself. That's why I said whenever you have a 10-year anniversary of your life, whenever you're on the number of, like me, myself, I was born in the 9s. I won't say the year, but I was born with a 9 behind my year. So every time it's a 9 of something, whether it be 79, 89, 99, 2009, I try to do something drastically different in my life. To show us a 10-year time, it's a decade. The 10 years came along, and now it's time for me to do something different. If I'm tired of my boss, then fuck him. Time to go. Fuck you. I've been here 10 years with you. You ain't changed. You're still an asshole. You're still a bully. Fuck you. I'm out. If you got a relationship with somebody, you're involved with somebody or something going on. You got a fucked up car. Boom. Let me do this every 10 years. Do something drastically different in life to show that you are in charge of your own life. It's just my theory on it. It could be, I'm using material things, but it could be anything. It could be drinking, it could be whatever, But getting back to the main topic at hand, I'll close out here to say that life is so short. Enjoy every minute. If you're involved with something or somebody, a new child, a new grandchild, new anything, cherish it, understand it, do the best you can for it. Wear the clothes in your closet you haven't worn. Wear the shoes you haven't worn. Do the things you haven't done. Go to the Salvation Army to get rid of stuff to make a deduction on your taxes, because you can't take nothing with you. That's my theory. After a while, I'm going to tell you, by November, December, I'm going to be lined up at Goodwill in Salvation Army to get that tax break. If I can give $5,000 worth of stuff for you, that's a $5,000 deduction on my taxes. So I ain't got to pay damn taxes back. So you can't take this stuff with you. So if you got fat, you can't wear it no more, or you got skinny, it won't stay up no more, vice versa, just handle your business. Pay attention to yourself. The most beautiful thing in life you can do is take care of your own ass for a change. How about that? That's what's popping tonight.
All right, man.
All right, Papa.
Poppa DD has spoken. Take care of your own self.
All right.
Well, I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to take a break, and we're going to take care of ourselves during this break, and then we're going to lighten it up and come back with the weird news on the Pajama Party Show. You can call it.
But I didn't mean that taking care of yourself means then another shot of Absolute Redwine. Anyway,
okay. I was confused.
Yeah. We're taking a break?
Yeah, we'll be right back.
All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm your host, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
Oh, Lord.
You know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for the weird news. Woo-woo! You know that's my favorite because I like weird stuff. But anyway, it's time for the weird news, and I'm going to go first, if I may. Can I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I will go first. Okay, I've got a shirtless man backflips off of a downtown Los Angeles freeway sign. Now, I saw this craziness during the week. This fool, he was on the 110 freeway, and the freeway got closed down in downtown L.A. on Wednesday morning during rush hour when the people are all trying to get where they're going during the rush hour commute. This man had taken off his shirt and climbed up on those, those big green overhead highway signs. He had climbed up on top of that sign in an apparent protest against pollution. I don't know what one had to do with the other, but that's what he claimed he was doing. Now, the incident was reported around 8:30 in the morning on the southbound 110 freeway at Boundary Avenue. The California Highway Patrol and the LA Police Department and the fire department were all on the scene trying to coax him to come down. The video from the scene appeared to show the man holding a bullhorn with an anti-pollution banner hanging from the freeway sign, and one of the banners said, fight pollution, not each other. So around 10 in the morning, now this started at about 8:30. Around 10 in the morning, I'm not sure if it was the fire department or who, they put this big cushion down on the ground, and dude did a backflip off of the sign onto this inflatable cushion, and they took him, put him on a stretcher, and then took him into custody. So I guess whatever his little stunt trick, whatever he was doing, he's going to go get in trouble for that. So they took him into custody, and they identified the man as 29-year-old Alexander Dunn. He was booked for delaying a peace officer, trespassing, and failure to obey a regulatory sign. I don't know how much time you get or what the fee is, the penalty, but I don't know what Mr. Alexander Dunn was thinking. But he did that backflip like, you know, he was in a circus act or something. Who knows?
Yeah, he didn't have anything else to do, I guess. Crazy.
He wanted to call attention to fighting pollution and not each other, I guess. But all that did was make him look like a shirtless nut.
All right. Well, from the shirtless nut to the crazy robber. Check this one out. A bank robber suspect gives ID easily tracked by police. In Columbus, Ohio, police say a quick-thinking bank teller in Ohio convinced the suspected robber to hand over his own license. Authorities say the man walked into a Huntington bank in Columbus and gave the teller a note saying he was armed and demanding money. The teller gave the man a stack of cash, but then he demanded more money from the electric cash recycle machine in the bank's lobby. So the police said the teller told the man the machine needed a driver's license to dispense cash.
Oh, my goodness.
So the man handed his own license over. The license led police to this 51-year-old man who was arrested and charged with aggravated robbery and threatening with a deadly weapon. I guess he's just too old to understand it. You don't need no damn ID for that. Oh, boy. I'm like, okay, really? Oh, well. I guess they ain't wrapped too tight in Columbus, I guess.
I can't believe he fell for that.
Yeah. I mean, that was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a real good one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she told him, I'm trying to make sure I understand this. She told him, in order for me to get you more money, we have to put a driver's license in the machine.
Right.
And he gave up. The robber gave the teller his driver's license.
Duh. I mean, it doesn't say if he had a mask or anything on like that, but, I mean, he could have had a mask on. He gives his ID. I mean, duh. It doesn't say that, but he could have, and he still, gives up his ID. But he demanded more cash. He should have just left with the second cash that he got from the teller. But he wanted more cash, so that was his stupidity.
Ooh. Well, that goes to show you that greed and stupidity do not mix well.
Well, there you go. Whoop, there it is. Mm-hmm.
Yep. There it is.
Yeah.
What you got on the weird report, Poppa DD?
This is Madrid, Spain, from the Associated Press, and the title of it is Can Dogs Perform CPR? It says Madrid police would have you think so. So can dogs perform CPR? Probably not, but a video posted by police in Madrid sure made it seem so. And a video posted on Facebook, Pancho the dog springs into action when his partner falls to the ground and pretends to be unresponsive. So this gentleman is a police officer, and Pancho's his dog. And he drops to the ground and pretends to be unresponsive. The dog springs into action. The dog pounds on his chest, pounds on the officer's chest with his paws, and then places his ear against the officer's neck to see if he's breathing.
Wow.
Pancho continues until the officer stands up. So the police write that Poncho did not hesitate for an instant to save a life. Well, I tell you, that propaganda bullshit. Well,
but he didn't give him mouth to mouth.
Nah,
You sure he didn't? You sure?
Yeah, that was some serious propaganda. Well, he didn't really mention mouth to mouth. He said he pounded on his chest with his paws, and
so he was
and
doing
then the
that.
dog leaned down to hear if there was any kind of breathing coming from.
Okay.
See if there's any.
Okay.
And it's just, I guess he was checking his pulse.
Smart
well,
dog.
it sounds like a bunch of crappy propaganda, whatever. Madrid, Spain. They're trying to get in the news. This is not bullfighting season, so they're out of things. So anyway.
Maybe Poncho was just a smart dog.
They're not talking about bull season.
There's Redwine always.
Huh?
There's Redwine always trying to find the truth in bullshit. Oh, how you doing, Redwine?
I'm saying Poncho could be a very smart.
There you go again. It's probably
such a hater.
It's probably rain. It's not piss.
Such a hater.
Anyway. Okay.
All right. Well, that wraps up the weird news. And welcome back to the Pajama Party Show. This is Redwine stealing the mic from Poppa DD, and I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And me,
good.
Redwine. Bonsoir.
I know that's right. Good. Papa, he's gone, huh? Good.
He just went to refresh his beverage, and then he'll be right back. But I will go ahead and roll into, I'm just saying. All righty, let's talk about Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I'm sure you all know about the situation with the restaurant and all of that. So this was, when was that, like about 2 weeks ago now? Sarah Huckabee Sanders was asked by the owner of the Red Rooster restaurant to leave because the owner did not approve of Sarah's support of 45. And now this made news for I think about 2 weeks or more. And what I want to know is why. Black people and other people of color have not only been put out or asked to leave restaurants and other public places, but for years we were denied entrance into these places. But Sarah's privileged ass didn't know anything about that, so she didn't have any empathy when it came to her being asked to leave. Now, that was a prominent white woman who felt the sting and the embarrassment and the public shame, but now she understands what that feels like. And to that I say, welcome to our world, Miss Sanders. You have just been inducted into a club which no one wants to be a member. Yet here you are, brand new card-carrying member. Imagine how our ancestors felt when all they wanted was a place to stay after driving on the highway for hours, and some dim-witted, bigoted motel owner turned them away just because of their skin color. Sounds ridiculous, yet that's what they had to endure. If it wasn't for the Green Book containing black-friendly places that our people could stay in or have a meal, it would have been even more difficult than it was. So excuse me if I don't cry for Miss Sanders. She just got a small taste of what we have put up with for over 50 years in America, the alleged land of the free and the home of the brave. Our people had to be brave to continue going back and fighting for their rights and demanding justice when there was no justice to be found. Sarah Sanders just got her nose bent out of shape over being asked to leave one restaurant? Girl, please. I'm just saying, welcome to our world. You had a front row seat, and you didn't like it, did you? But the difference is she might not have that issue again, but our struggle continues. Like when we go shopping in certain stores and notice an employee following us from aisle to aisle, Sarah probably won't have to deal with that. Or having a cashier drop the change on the counter instead of putting it in your hand. She probably won't have to deal with that either. Or having a salesperson assume what you can or cannot afford, or deciding what they will and won't show you when you specifically ask for certain things. She probably won't have to deal with that either. So again, excuse me if my heart does not bleed for Sarah Sanders, Huckabee Sanders, or whatever, for being put out of a cruddy little restaurant. We have been put out of far better places than that little Robin, Red Rooster, whatever it's called, That story to me should have never been national news anyway. This is Redwine, and I'm just saying, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, welcome to our world, and I hope you enjoyed the view. That's all I'm saying.
That was kind of deep there. Woo.
I'm just saying, I'm sick of this BS. They acting like, like somebody shot her and took her out and tarred and feathered her. All they did was told her, look, we don't want you in here. Get out. I'm like, girl, please. We've been told that for how many years? Give me a break. Fire me up with that BS.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she was a Negro for a day.
And she didn't like it.
Just one day, I'm a Negro for one day.
And
anyway,
she was pissed.
That's her new theme song when she walks.
Mm-hmm.
Negro for a day, I'm a Negro for one day.
And girlfriend was pissed. And white America was pissed along with her.
How dare you?
The audacity.
Out of anything.
The unmitigated goal.
We are American Express card holders. Goal, mind you, no limit. No limit. I get cash back for my purchases. I am Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Look at my crooked ass eyebrows.
My father is a politician.
Look at my crooked ass eyebrows. You know me. Anyway, I love the way she does those eyebrows, though. Crooked as hell. She does it.
She's crooked, so they match her.
Okay, she puts on her eyebrows while she's on a fucking treadmill. Anyway.
She's a mess. All right.
But that's Ketel's girl. We ain't going to talk about it.
That's your girl.
Child, please. Don't give me that one. Nope.
You see, the president, what the president meant to say was, anyway.
Yeah.
Your job is to correct him.
What a job.
All right. I'm up next.
Yes, you are.
Oh, wow.
Living for the city. What's going on? What's happening in the city?
In the city. Let's talk about the city. I tell you what, it really amazes me. Sometime when I come from the studio and come to the area, I notice pockets of Caucasian people living like amongst the Negroes. I mean, amongst them. If you go, I don't know if you've ever been in the D.C. area, but there's a college called Gallaudet. I think there's a street called West Virginia Avenue, if I'm not mistaken. West Virginia Avenue / Skid Row. You got the college on one side, and you got the hookers and hoes on another side. But on this one street of West Virginia, there's pockets of white people living on this street. Because the houses are all done up and everything. I don't know whether they're there just for the D.C. experience or that they know the gentrification is coming, and that's why all that's going to be paved with pebbles of gold, like the rest of some areas of D.C. But I was riding down West Virginia Avenue, and I just happened to look on the sides. I was there like on a Saturday going through there. And white folks sit down on the steps with their dogs, and you know how they roll, their dogs and their children. Not necessarily in that order. They love their dog. I would say their dog and their damn child. And they're out there amongst this, and it was just the total destitute of the area called Trinidad is what it's called, and all its glory. But then you have white folks like every fourth or fifth house that is all done up like where somebody spent at least $200,000 in makeover, and they're right on this block. Like they're like the starters of the what do you call it, gentrification? Mm-hmm. They're like the Jesse Owens of the track meet. They're out there first and early, before Jackie Joyner-Kersee and the other stars came along years ago. But they're like the first settlers, like the damn pilgrims, with the Indians and shit. They're like, fuck it, we're gonna do this. We're gonna represent. We are white. We're right in the middle of Trinidad, right on West Virginia Avenue, and we don't give a damn. And it's so interesting, and it's so, I don't know if to call it interesting or weird, because, it's amazing, you know. And the cross reference of it is that every 2 or 3 steps you see something. Here's a Caucasian, and there's something destitute, and there's something, you know, ill-reputed, and then there's white folks, and there's ill-reputedness, and then there's destitute, and this thing goes on from Florida Avenue all the way down to what's the street at down in the street of West Virginia that goes out of Trinidad. I forget.
New York Avenue?
No, not New York. This is inside the Trinidad area. You got
Florida
West
Avenue.
Virginia. No, Florida's on one end, and the other at the way other end of the light is another street. Mount Olive.
Oh.
Mount Olive. So it's amazing. And in closing, I just want to say that between Mount Olive and Florida Avenue on West Virginia, white folks in pockets. It's amazing. And their houses like this, they spent $300,000 improving them. It's very interesting. It's like they're the gentrification people have said, what the hell, we're going to sit in the middle of this. And we're going to, maybe 10 years from now, it's going to all look like us or whatever, you know. But maybe they know something we don't. So
I don't know.
we need to get the Pajama Party Crew out there to interview them or something. Find out what they know. Find out what they know. What's going on. Should we buy out there? You know?
Good question.
Anyway, but that's very deep. So, like my man Joe Madison, listen with the third ear and see with the third eye. Don't miss it. It's coming. Anyway, that's what's happening in the city.
All right.
Okay.
All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. Bonsoir.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You still mess with the French guy. He's
Feeling good. Can I just be happy?
boy's loving so good, gave her a damn act.
Can a sister be happy?
Damn.
I know that's right.
Loving so good, gave the Negro an accent. Damn.
No.
Okay.
And see beaucoup.
See, beaucoup, nigga, damn. I didn't used to talk like this.
Parlez-vous français?
I didn't used to talk like this.
Anyway,
Are
Ketel.
y'all okay? Are we going to the West Coast or we gonna stay on the East Coast? What y'all doing?
Yeah.
I changed my lingo.
I think we need to go to the West Coast.
He messed around and changed my lingo.
Yeah, it's time to go to the West Coast.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Okay.
What's
All
happening
right.
in the Hollywood?
Well, we got Drake acting a fool. I mean, for him to be 31 years old, boy, I'm telling you, the things these rappers do. Drake confirms he has a son. Really? And he confirms it on his new album, The Kid Is Mine. Drake just dropped a big bombshell. He's a daddy. The 31-year-old rapper confirmed the long-rumored news that he fathered a child with French artist and former adult film star Sophie Bruxer on numerous tracks on his new double album, Scorpion. As usual, they always sample. In Emotionless, which samples Mariah Carey, Drake declares, I wasn't hiding my kid from the world. I was hiding the world from my kid. From empty souls who just woke up and looked to debate until you staring at your feed, you can never relate. I'm like, okay. He has to put all this on a record. Really? I don't know if this is to sell records or he's just immature. Just not sure. 31 years old? Come on now. So that's his big news, Drake. I'm like, okay. All righty. Special. Michael Moore, he's back in the news. Remember the guy that did 9/11, the film? That was back in 2004.
Big
He's
boy.
doing
Big boy with curly hair.
Yep. He will take on Donald Trump this fall in the new film Fahrenheit 11/9. Donald Me has a certain ring to it, but Michael Moore's new documentary, Fahrenheit 11/9, is named for November the 9th, 2016, when America found out in the wee hours that Donald Trump had won the presidential election. Fahrenheit 11/9 will land in theaters on September the 21st. Judging from Moore's on-air conversation with Colbert, the film could be in his most statement since the Fahrenheit 9/11 in 2004. He did the it was about George Bush and the lead up to the Iraq and Afghanistan war. So he goes on to say, when are people going to get off the couch, and when are we going to rise up? Said Moore, who spoke during the interview about the need for nonviolent resistance to Trump administration policies. So he was discussing the zero tolerance practice that resulted in the immigration of the children being separated. He talked about that, and he said, what would you do if each of, everybody he was talking about in the audience, if your child was taken away from you? So he's more or less saying, we're going to just sit back and just take this shit. We're going to do something about it. So he's kind of on the lines of the nonviolence like Martin Luther King. So I think it's time for us to rise up and do something. Also in music news, Ed Sheeran, he's being sued for $100 million. He's accused of copying Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On. Ed Sheeran is facing a $100 million lawsuit accusing the singer-songwriter of copying Marvin Gaye's 1973 hit Let's Get It On in Ed Sheeran's 2014 song Thinking Out Loud. That's the one he's dancing in the ballroom with the dancer. The suit was filed by Structured Access Asset Sales, a company that owns 1/3 of the copyright to Let's Get It On. So according to the lawsuit, Sharon's song has the same melody, rhymes, harmonies, drums, bass line, backing chorus, tempo, and looping as Let's Get It On.
I don't
Sharon
hear it.
Also, well, you got to play it because they have a thing on YouTube, and they have both of them, and I would play both of them, and I did hear it. So Sharon was also sued over Thinking Out Loud in 2016. The family of Ed Townsend, a co-writer on Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On, sued Sharon, arguing that Thinking Out Loud lifted the melody, harmony, and other rhythmic components from Gaye's track.
Wow.
So they're saying that they don't know if the Marvin Gaye family is going to get into the lawsuit also. So I guess we just have to, check it out. But, I mean, I would check it out. Check it out. I'm telling you, some similarities.
Ed Sheeran's a little bald-head, redhead guy?
No, he's blonde. He's blonde or red. I can't remember. He's not bald-headed. No,
I think he is red-headed. He's not bald. He's red-headed.
I think he's redheaded.
Glasses.
From the glasses, look like a little dork.
Yeah, that's him.
Yep. So pull up the video, Thinking Out Loud. That's when he's dancing in the ballroom with the lady. And then play Let's Get It On, and you can see the similarities.
I believe it because ain't nothing sexy about his ass. He's trying to get laid. I don't know.
I ain't in that. Well, one sad note, the patriarch of the Jackson family, he has died. He was Joe Jackson. He's 89. He's had some health issues. He's had a stroke, 3 heart attacks, and he was diagnosed with some type of cancer. So he was in hospice, and they said he was surrounded by his family, most of his children, grandchildren, and his wife. They've been married for 60 years. They had 10 children, married for 60 years. So, yep. God bless them. That's the Hollywood wrap-up.
Okay.
So,
well, that was a good report. I'm going to have to listen out for that Ed Sheeran song because I've heard that song. I like the song. But I just didn't think it sounded that close to Let's Get It On.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, when we go off the air, we're going to listen to it and find out.
All right, then. All right.
So,
I guess
that was a good report, Ketel.
Well, thank you. So while you guys are listening to that, I guess you can sip on this cocktail of the week, which is called the Black Cherry American Dream.
The Effin'.
Yep. The EBCAD. Effin'.
Okay.
1.5 parts of effing black cherry vodka. That's the vodka with the tall bottle. Pretty nice and neat. 3/4 part of the Kuiper Peach Tree Schnapps liqueur. 1.5 parts of organic apple juice. Has to be organic. A 1/2 part of lemon juice, and also 3 basil leaves. So what we're going to do is, in a mixing glass, combine all ingredients and shake with ice. Strain into a tall glass over ice and garnish with a cherry and a peach slice. That's the effing black cherry American dream.
Ooh, that is refreshing. I like it.
All right. Well, that'll be on our website. So check it out.
I like that little hint of basil, too. That's good.
All right. So if you don't want too much basil, just put maybe 1. It says 3, but just too strong.
I like 3.
1.
I like 3.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, the Kiss It list. Poppa DD, can you break down, get a people an explanation of what is the Kiss It list?
Kiss It list is a list combined weekly of people in the world that says some dumb crap, stupid crap, embarrassed themselves, got fired, made an asshole of themselves, or just,
all of the above.
All the above. And we got a list of those people, and we announce who they are. Donald Trump sits on the top, him and Macy's, and a couple of permanent things, Roger Goodell, NFL owners,
And
the
NFL.
still on there?
Yeah, but I put the NFL on there because I saw something about them trying to change the helmets again, and they're saying that might just completely change the whole look and feel of the game. And I'm like, really, y'all? Come on. Next thing you know, you're going to have the players out there saying, oh, please, after you. Oh, no, I insist, after you. I mean, come on.
So it's not going to be a rough sport anymore, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I guess they have.
but
Well, I think they're having so many lawsuits. I think that's what's really the big thing. And so they're really trying to take so many precautions, I guess, on that. So, hey, it is what it is, I guess.
They, you know how people are. They always tend to just go too far with stuff. But also I have Peggy Atchison. That's the principal in Toronto for blacklisting the black students. We've got Quest Diagnostic for doing all those bad lab results and not letting those women in Ireland know that they had cervical cancer until it was too late. Citigroup for screwing around with the credit card fees and then trying to step up and volunteer so they would pay less money back. We're not fooled by that mess. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, put on your big girl panties and grow up, girl. Also, ICE, the immigration, whatever ICE stands for, those people, for keeping those families and kids separated from their parents the way y'all are doing. I know you're just doing your job, but you're still on the Kiss It list. And let's see. Who else? Anybody else?
Let's see. How about those Caucasians on West Virginia Avenue who think they're so bold that they could live amongst the highly populated black folks? Like it's no big deal. And they all got bars on their window, crack alarm systems. It's like a Fort Knox. The dogs barking all night.
Okay. Well, let's put all of them on the Kiss It list.
Anyway, I mean, not as a bad thing, but just, let us know what's happening. Don't just move there with some inside information and black people living next to you thinking everything is cool, knowing black folks going to self-destruct in 5 years, like fucking Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
And
your
also, neighbor, don't worry about your neighbor, he's going to blow up in 5 years. Hey, Mr. Johnson, boom, he's gone. And he knew it all the time. Boy, D.C. is rough, I'm telling you.
Well, also, I want to add, all the people that perpetrate frauds in various ways, but especially on the job, if you're taking somebody else's work and passing it off as your own, trying to make yourself look good, you're perpetrating a fraud, and you're on the Kiss It list. Ketel, you got anybody else to add?
No. That's about it.
All right. Well, we have a special gift. It's gift wrapped, and I'm about to take the bow off of it and give it to everybody on the Kiss It list. Kiss
my entire ass. Kiss my Irish ass. You better kiss my Irish ass. This world can kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. You can just kiss my ass. Baby, you can just kiss my ass. Oh. You can kiss my country ass. I said if you got a problem with any of that, you can kiss my natural born redneck to the bone, ever loving country ass. That's right.
All right.
Okay.
Woo!
Uh-uh.
Was it good for you? I'm
Too
just
much.
It was good for me. All righty. Well, we about to shut it down. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's go to the last word. Poppa DD. What's your last word?
My last word is to talk to my cousin Stephen from the Rest in Peace, my brother. The struggles of living life for many years that you did with cerebral palsy is what he had.
Oh, okay.
With cerebral palsy and all the elements and the struggles that it had within, the way you had to walk and get dressed and everything like that. And for God to take you, hopefully now, straighten up all your limbs and you're in heaven walking around, standing tall. Everybody else, it was beautiful being your cousin in life, the life that God bestowed with you. Thank you. And rest in peace, sir.
All right, that's beautiful. I'll go next. My last word is to people that are perpetrating a fraud, stop doing that. To all the people that are struggling with the whole immigration situation, I sure hope they get that resolved. Let's keep an eye on the person who gets appointed to be on the Supreme Court, because this could be a problem for a lot of us in this country who are not Republican. And let's just try to do all the best we can to be good to one another. There's too much negative stuff in the world. Let's be good to one another. That's all I have. Ketel, over to you.
I'm going to shout out to the quintuplets. They graduated from that same university, and that was so great. We finally got some good news for a change. And also, even though it was on the weird news, the dog that gave the CPR to his owner or whatever, that was a good job.
Poncho.
Yeah, that was
You
so
like
cute.
him?
No, Poncho.
Poncho.
And
Poncho.
also, Maxine Waters. Hate is not the answer, and you need to take another approach on your own views. It sounds so personal, the way she's coming off. You know, we could do a better job, you know, both ways, Maxine Waters and DT45. You know, he needs to chill out on what he's doing, and Maxine Waters also. I just hope they can come together and more or less have a truce and say, let's just work together, not work against each other. And, you know, that's all I got to say. Let's just love one another. As, Rodney King, can't we all just get along?
Can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, he don't realize that when we waited, so let me cut you off. As long as we waited for Rodney King to come out and make a speech, for him to say them little words he did, they translate forever.
Yeah.
And the way he said it will always be connected to him. They waited so long for him after he got beat and healed and everything else, and then finally he got on camera to say some words, and all he said was, "Can't we all just
with tears in his voice,
just get along?" And those little words he had, they tagged to his soul. And every time when you say those words, you
think of
him. Because especially people in that generation, you know. our younger people need to latch onto the history so you know who the hell said what. You know, they're so busy doing what they do. I also want to say one more thing. The thought is leaving my mind here, but like you were saying, Ketel, based on, what was you saying? I'm losing my mind here.
Maxine Waters.
Yeah, Maxine Waters, exactly. I think it's being led. See, we have to understand, and I will be very brief with this, we have to understand that we cannot do what other people do. You know, Donald Trump has insulated himself. He's got lawyers on all four sides. He's got that New Jersey, New York arrogance, which is ball busting. They don't even care. I worked out in New York for 20 years, and I'm going to tell you, ain't no arrogance like New York arrogance, because New York arrogance don't stop. Them jokers from Staten Island and all up north there, and they're a mess. They're Long Island. They're a mess. Those white folks up there are a mess, honey. Anyway, and he's leading people. He led Maxine to thrive on it with trying to counter his stuff by talking like him, and then he led Roseanne Barr to thinking she had the strength to come in and say some crazy stuff and get no reaction like he got, but she did get reaction, and she got fired, and her show got lost. And let's not leave out Bush. Was that guy Billy Bush?
Oh, yeah.
Billy Bush was just listening to him talk, saying grabbing vaginas, and being the fact that Billy Bush was laughing at his little antics, NBC fired him, saying you shouldn't even encourage it. So Billy Bush and Roseanne Barr, don't play into them. Don't let Trump lead you down that path, because he's a billionaire. And Maxine Waters, don't let Trump take you there. See, Trump is the facilitator of all this, and we got to watch what he makes us do. So anyway, how about that?
Well said. Well said, Papa. Yeah.
You know, because he's insulated, honey. He's got everything. He's got goggles on. He's got work glasses. He got steel-toe shoes. He got everything you need to go in the war, honey. Don't be led by his ass. Please don't. Anyway, that's Redwine's boy. We're not going to talk about it.
Please. Anyway, well, on that note, we're going to sign off. Until next week, we're saying good night from the Pajama Party Crew. Say good night, Papa.
Arrivederci.
Say good night, Ketel.
Good night.
And bonsoir. Until next Friday, check us out online. Shout out to DC Homegrown for keeping the bills paid and keeping us on the air. We appreciate you. Okay. And we'll catch you next Friday night on the Pajama Party Show. Peace.
Hello.
We're out.
Hello, Captain Crunch. Hello, Smedley.
Oh, dear. We're out.
Say good night, Papa.
Call Poppa DD's handlers.
I'm Mr. Peabody, and this is Sherman.
All righty.
Sherman.
We're saying good night now.
Hello,
Peace.
Sherman.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so.
I bid you farewell, arrivederci, sayonara, and all that sort of cheers.
Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, good night.
Yabiko. Sana.
I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now.
Good night, and good luck.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Now give me a kiss and say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for attending our show, and good night.
Pajama Party, growing sexy, going to party. Pajama Party Crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Pajama Party, growing sexy, going to party. Pajama Party Crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Pajama Party, growing sexy, going to party. Pajama Party Crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Pajama Party.